Live.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike here from Chill Tech, and along with me we have Christian.
What's up?
That was a delayed reaction. And we have Javon. Javon, say hello. You gonna say hello?
Really?
That's an even more delayed reaction.
Just kidding. What's up, guys? Hey.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Straight Out of This Week. Today, let's get started in, and on the list we have my 3-minute rant. That was originally going to be scheduled for this, but I guess I really don't have a problem anymore, do I, Javon? Since we went on Twitter and complained to Motorola about my order, and now they're like, oh shit, they done took it to Twitter. Oh crap. I forgot. YouTube censors. I can't cuss anymore. So all snaps. All snaps.
Cookies.
No, but we took it. I recently ordered the Moto Z, or attempted to order the Moto Z Play on the Motorola website. You know, where they have the custom Motorola build your own Motorola. And you guys, I thought I clicked on the Moto Z Play. I didn't know it automatically took me to build the Moto Z Droid Edition, which is, I don't have Verizon, so that phone's pretty much just going to be a brick when it was supposedly going to arrive. I had no use for it. So when I ordered it, I tried to cancel it within the hour of when I ordered it. However, their offices were closed, and their policy states that if you can't cancel the order after 2 hours of ordering a product. So I ordered it, and it happened to be off hours when I did it. So there was no way when I hit the return, when I actually created a whole return email form or started the return process, there was no way I would get my return in time. So I thought that was pretty ridiculous when they hit me up with that email the next day. It was like, well, sorry, you missed your 2-hour window. You can't return it. You just got to get it and then send it back, and then we'll give you your money, within that whole little 7 business days. After it took them a day to take it barely took them 5 seconds to take the money out of my account. Regardless, the issue seems to be solved now. Javon went ahead and went on Twitter, made a complaint about it. Motorola support hit us up. Whether they're able to fix it or not, we don't know. But it showed good faith in them actually trying to, reach out to us and try to solve that problem. So this isn't a rant. It's more of a, I don't know what you'd call this, but Mike's rambling at this point. But I thought they handled it a lot more professional once we took it to Twitter. Which brings me to the point where I hate social media, but in some cases, social media can become something really great. And in this case, social media really helped us out. This just shows the future of running a business, guys. That's pretty amazing that we made a complaint front-facing on Twitter, and Motorola was like, hold up, we can't have them bad-mouthing us on Twitter. Like, that's this is a business we run. So they're always active. It shows it's great professionalism that they reached out to us and got this problem handled. So I sent my email today, giving them all the information I had, everything that had happened. They have their correspondence and all that. So all I can hope is I get my $700 back into my account. And so that's all I have for that. Pretty sure you guys have nothing to add.
Yeah, I mean that's smart on them as far as getting good marketing. Because again, this whole conversation is happening in the public.
Yeah.
So they turn the complaint into like a great customer service experience that people can see happen, in real time. So
yeah, I'm being used, but on the back end,
right?
On the back end, they DM'd me a middle finger. It was like they're like, you ain't getting your money back. Don't even try to send that phone back. Don't even try. Moving on. So that's what's going on in my world. But moving on, let's get into some of this tech news for this week. And first little bit we have is that Comcast will launch its own wireless service next year. Comcast, who already has the crappiest cable service of all time, the crappiest internet service of all time, is now about to release the crappiest wireless service of all time.
Worst customer service also.
Yeah.
Just worst.
Oh, I forgot the worst customer
everything.
Service. Worse than Motorola. I guarantee if we had hit Comcast up on Twitter, they'd have been like, and?
Cuss us out. I'm like, you're blocked.
Right, sorry.
You're right. They did the "you're blocked" dance. So like, oh snap! They did it.
Like 2 weeks later, do you still have a problem with your phone? Like really?
Like, I
really?
just found that.
HBO I ordered last month. So like, that's what's going to be weird. Is like, you know how I find this to be. I find this to be weird. So Verizon has a mobile service. They have cable. They have internet. But you can't bundle all three of those things together. You can only bundle cable and internet, right? So is Comcast going to be the game changer here? Well, they'll bundle it all in one, and you get like one low price for everything. I somehow doubt that because Comcast is the most. I think Comcast was created by Satan. After God casted Lucifer down to hell, he was like, millions of years from now, I'm going to create Comcast. I'm going to get everybody back for this. I guarantee you this will piss people off.
You're not allowed to watch Preacher anymore. All right, so
but it's one of those things though. Like I find it. Or you think they're going to be the game changer and actually try to do something different to get one up on Verizon?
I don't think so because you look at this. I don't think even the first company to do this. AT&T bundles DirecTV with their wireless network as well as vice versa, so you can get AT&T.
What about their Uverse? Remember, they got a cable. AT&T has a cable service out too.
Yeah, but I mean,
those two people.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not legitimate. They're not even legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Like as much as I love Google Fi, when it's only in selected areas and it's a very, very small market, it's not a legitimate game changer. You know what I'm saying? No, not yet, at least. But here's what I'm thinking. If Comcast does this, this is going to be kind of like a Google Fi, type of service, like an MVNO carrier, like a higher quality MVNO. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that they have the spectrum or wireless spectrum to do anything major in the market. Not to mention, I doubt that they will have competitive pricing to even match T-Mobile and Sprint right now. And I don't think they can match. What's the fifth carrier's name again? US Cellular. So. It wouldn't make much sense unless they either bundle with somebody. I mean, if we see like a, Comcast merges with Sprint or something, that's a different story. If they do something like that,
that's what I was hoping they would. That's what would have been the smarter option if they took like a great mobile service already. Like let's say, just out of the blue, they decided, hey, T-Mobile, if you give us we'll partner up with you and create a whole Xfinity. Well, it's going to be called T-Mobile, but we'll partner with you and use your cell phone service. And we can create, lines out of that. You can use our, whatever, our towers or whatever. That'd be pretty cool because you already have an established service. You already know what you're going to get with T-Mobile. That'd be fine. With them creating a whole new service in itself, it's going to be a while before anybody just jumps to Comcast. Not because, as Christian said, they have terrible customer service, but they haven't shown anything yet. Like they can be a legit wireless service.
Now I wonder because again, since it is going to be a MVNO and they are using Verizon network, it's also going to work in conjunction with their Wi-Fi hotspots. So I wonder if they're going to try to undercut the price by saying unlimited calling on all of our Wi-Fi hotspots, and then you get like 500 free minutes when you have to roam on the Verizon network, which is everywhere.
It's still not worth it because
they may charge you. It may add $10 to your Comcast bill. You know how they make those bundles and they make it almost like it's dumb not to get that one extra $10 thing.
Right.
And they start kind of inching in that way. But to go straight wireless and compete on price, I don't think they can do. But I think if they try and kind of make it's a Wi-Fi calling with some like when you can't find Wi-Fi, then you have X amount of minutes to use. In your bank,
whoever's network. Like I mean, who does this? Net 10. Who else does it? There's another Walmart.
I forget what it's called.
Carrier besides Net 10, they're like these big ones, and what they do is that they have like a certain carrier where they get most of their spectrum from, and then they have these other little carriers, or everyone else that you can hop on their lowest band spectrum. Like when you hop on Verizon, you have Verizon, edge everywhere, but that's a less low quality service. And that's something that I can see Comcast doing because they're a low quality service as well. So that's that. I take it all back. Kion in the comment section said it's straight talk. Yeah, it's straight talk. So I can definitely see them doing a route like straight talk. They'll take everyone's lowest spectrum that is congested and just the weakest quality, poor signal, but it's everywhere. So you're just like, yeah, I mean, I get service. I get 1 bar consistently, no matter what. So, you know.
And I get that Wi-Fi calling.
And Wi-Fi calling, but there's so many carriers that do Wi-Fi calling well. Not to mention, we still have the problem not every phone supports Wi-Fi calling. So it's like...
That's true. All right, well, is that all we have for Comcast?
Yeah, man, move on.
Wireless service?
Move on from Comcast.
Yeah. Boo. The necessary evil.
Why do we all seem like we just got off of work not so long ago?
Just mad. Everything.
Right. All right, next up we have the service that Javon wouldn't let us forget. Actually, He sent us a message on it and everything. Google Allo was released this week. And literally, Christian can attest to this. I wake up in the freaking morning and I get a freaking 3 or 4 messages from Javon just using Allo. So Allo basically, it sends you a text message in the form of Allo and says, here, click here to install. And I was like, what is he doing? And I didn't know what it was or what he was text messaging from, but he's sending all these stickers and whatnot because he's so excited. So Javon, please, for the love of God, so you can get this off your chest, talk about Allo and how much you love it.
So, Allo is here, guys. This is the application from our Google I.O. podcast we talked about a few months ago. I was so excited about it, and although it's getting a lot of mixed feelings from the media, the general public seems to like it a lot. And this is an application where I feel like Google's nailed what they're trying to do, and it's not as feature-rich as Hangouts right now. There's a lot and they separated Hangouts essentially in the form of Duo and Allo. So this is the new messaging products that Google wants to sell to the everyday customer. It works. Allo works. It's a very great messaging app. It's lots of fun. It's colorful. It has a lot of aesthetics, and not to mention the biggest feature is Google Assistant, where you can ask Google to hop into a conversation to make, to help, let's say you want to buy pizza, or like talking, hey guys, we're hungry, let's get pizza, right? As soon as I say let's get pizza, Google's like, I can at Google, let's get pizza, and Google will pop up in the chat with all of us to see, bunch of pizza places that are nearby. We can all vote on one, pick one, reserve a table with open table automatically, or we can even say something like, hey, let's get a movie, pick where. A lot of times we don't have to, coordinate on the phone, where we get movies, what seats are you getting, da-da-da-da. Immediately you can type in at Google movie tickets to wherever. We can all pick right there and then what show we want to see, where we're sitting, and reserve our tickets right there and then. So This is the future of messaging. It's a smart messaging app for whatever that means. More marketing jargon. But for what it is, this is a really great app messaging service that a lot of people can get behind. That this is essentially Google's first attempt to really take on, in my opinion, iMessage, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger.
That was a mouthful. So I've been using it. Chris has been not using it, or have you downloaded it?
I've been using it. Yeah, I downloaded it. Yeah, I've been using it.
Okay, you downloaded it?
I'm on there with y'all.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you are. I thought you just been using it. My bad. But anyway, so yeah, my opinion is my opinion is kind of mixed. Like, I like all the the interface. It looks nice. A lot of the features of it are pretty innovative, but the automatic responses on that daggone thing are pretty dumb. Like, there's been some messages you sent me, and then the automatic responses are just, You're like, what is this? This isn't for this message. What are these responses?
They're trying.
And I realize it's just starting up, so you can only be so hard on it. And then, like the assistant, I think that's a pretty decent app. I haven't used it yet. Maybe you guys, Christian, you could attest to it if you've actually used it.
Now, I'm not sure. Is the assistant only on the Android version, or is it also on the iOS version? Because I've not played with it too much to see where all the
it's in the iOS version as well. You have to go add assistant. Now the thing is, though, the assistant is in preview form, so it's not actually in its full, I guess, like final stage. They're holding off, and this kind of goes. I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but Google's been doing this for over the last week. They're removing Google Now and Google Now on Tap, the words of the terminology, out of every aspect of Google search, from before. So now, when Nexus phone, you slide to the right, you have Google Now. Mm-hmm. They're turning that it's now called the feed. When you press and hold the button down and you get the Google Now cards, whatever come up, that's now just called screen search. So yeah, right. So what they're doing is that they want Google Assistant to be now a consumer brand like Siri and Cortana, because although it's been out way before, I just said Cortana, my computer went off. Hold on. now that they're competitive public awareness thing, they want to make Google not only for the nerds, not only for the geeks, but for the everyday user on cross platforms. Although you will not get the full Google Assistant experience on iOS, that's obviously not going to be a thing. But all the things within Allo will definitely be something, and even Duo when the system comes with Duo, and whatever form that does come into Duo. I think it's. I recommend giving it a chat, maybe in our chat, is just at Google something and then let it just do its thing. But it's pretty cool.
All right. Well, I don't have too much more to say about Allo. Like I said, it's new.
It's not much to say about it.
Yeah, it's new. It's going to replace Hangouts, right? Or is it trying to replace Hangouts?
I don't think so.
The thing. We all know Google has a problem with applications. They're like, you want to text? No problem. We have 65 billion apps you can text from. Make your pick. No, the difference with Hangouts is that this was our consumer-grade messaging application from Google, replacing Google Talk. This is not a replacement to Hangouts. They're now pushing Hangouts to the Google Works application. They want to make this more of an enterprise application. So if you look at Google's for Works app, they even added Google Plus in there, which is kind of weird also. But they want this to be a corporate application for people that need to use group chatting in a corporate setting and needs Hangouts and all that stuff in a corporate setting. So
it looks like we're not going to be doing podcasts from Hangouts anymore, guys.
Well, they moved that already. We're doing it from YouTube now. It's called the YouTube Live.
Boo!
Right. All these name changes.
All these name changes, but services
I don't understand it.
Oh my god. I mean, BattleNet's going away. It's too much. I can't take it. I'm so confused.
It's going to be called. Is it just going to be called Blizzard? The Blizzard app?
I think so. I think it'll just be Blizzard. Yeah. So
I mean, I like that.
I kind of like that though. I think it makes more sense than BattleNet. So I don't ever battle anybody.
Right. I think the whole point is that we have all these name applications that are for nerds.
I don't really trust .net domains anyway. So.
.net domains. .net domains always lead to something really bad. It always leads somewhere really bad.
You were too late for .com, so you got that .net. Okay.
You're like, all right. Moving on to our main topic for the evening. Now, guys, I won't have much to say about this because I haven't built my computer yet. But this is something that Javon and Christian are extremely excited about, and it's about next-gen consoles versus actually buying an actual great gaming PC with great graphics cards. And for what they've been telling me recently, there are some great deals on graphics cards coming up, especially So basically, if you're in the market to upgrade your computer, now is the time to do it. There are some great prices to look out there. I'm going to pass this on to Christian because he really knows what he's talking about when it comes to these graphics cards. You should see him in our chats, people. He knows his shit. But so what do you guys want to start with? Do you want to actually start with the prices of a lot of the graphics cards coming out? You want to start there and then move on from there, or what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, we start on pricing, I guess, and kind of what the prices have been doing recently. When these cards first came out, we all know demand was super restricted. So they announced, hey, this card is going to be, $199. You go to Amazon online, it's, $299, $349. Like everything was just way overpriced for several months. And so I've been kind of checking once or twice a week at the prices, just kind of see how they've been doing. And all of a sudden, last week I started looking, and I was like, wait a minute, these prices look about what I expected to be 2 months ago. And as I keep looking, they seem to have finally stabilized the supply for all these next-gen cards. So all the cards now are the price that they were supposed to be when they first went live.
Yes.
And for the idiots in this chat, what is the difference between these next-gen cards and the old-gen cards?
There's a lot of differences. I mean, it's a whole new architecture.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that not only is it new architecture, but they've brought down the price point for similar performance of what we had, let's say, last year, even 2 years ago. So now, for the same price point, you're getting much more power per dollar, which is just amazing. So if you're ready to upgrade, then now is a great time to jump in and get that new card. In addition, they have bundles going on. Now, for a long time, they've been having bundles, and it seemed like they kind of stopped it for a little while. It was kind of a lull as far as bundling things with the cards. But right now, they have some pretty decent bundles going on. So if you want to get the AMD version, so AMD is kind of trying to sit down on the lower mid-tier. They're not trying to kind of battle NVIDIA directly. So they're on the lower end, but their highest end low-end card of the next gen, the 480, if you get that card, you'll actually get Battlefield 1 for free.
I wouldn't call AMD low end. I think I'll say it. The budget minded. I think it's the word I'm looking for. Budget minded.
Yeah,
because performance wise,
so low end.
No. So because low end means that you're getting low end performance. I would say this: you're getting.
Okay, so maybe, but budget isn't the same thing as a thing. Is that really considered?
Think about it, right?
It's still expensive.
No,
it's still pretty
you just
expensive.
said you're talking about
if you buy their 460 card, the RX 460, that is
right, and all means.
Esports integrated performance.
So maybe my thing here, maybe I don't understand the whole graphics card.
Is it better than an Xbox One right now? That's the question.
No. That's not my thing. What I'm trying to understand is what is the big hullabaloo about the graphics cards? Why are you guys so excited about when you see these graphics cards? What is the main thing attracting to you? Is it the fact that your game's going to come in crisper? Because I'm trying to come from a point where you get people that are watching this podcast. They understand why they should get and invest in some of these graphics cards. Why is this the time to buy graphics cards?
I'll give you a perfect example then. So right now, I'm running a GT 730. Okay. 2 gigs of RAM. This card is, what, this point, maybe I think, 3 years old? 2.5-ish? 2.5, 3 years old. But this was the low end 2.5 years ago. So gotcha. Right now, to play Overwatch, I'm playing Overwatch at 1080p resolution, but I have it on low settings, and I have it scaled half, so that it's actually rendering at half the resolution of what my screen can take, and I'm getting about 40 frames per second. Okay? Gotcha. So my plan is to get the upcoming GTX 1060, which is NVIDIA's lower end of their new architecture. That card at the base runs now at about 250. Okay. Put that card in my computer. I can run 1080p, high settings, 60 frames per second on Overwatch.
There we go.
So that's what I was looking for. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So,
but we're talking about low end, right? Price point. What was the cost of that card 2 years ago?
Right. That it had been like $500, right?
Around $200-$300.
So this is what you guys are talking about. So now these prices are getting manageable than they once were.
They're not even manageable. They're either the components have been or manufactured at a cost where it's much more cheaper to build these cards, or they were just upselling the cards so much where they don't need a profit margin that high anymore.
Okay, all right,
yeah, for sure.
Because what Christian's going to be getting, if you look at it from in terms of apples to apples, right? Because he's not going to AMD or anything. He's staying within the Nvidia field there, right? For a car that will be considered low end by its lowest standards of that 7000 series cards, right? He can still play games now. We're not saying that he's unable to play games. Games aren't just at its highest fidelity. Some of these games may look like, which we'll get into in a little bit later, some of these games may look like they're the same quality of a console game, you know? Mm-hmm. The difference is that when you look at gaming, especially at higher resolutions, which is what we're moving into, these cards can now push the higher resolution and give you more power. Not to mention, we've got to mention is also they're cutting back power reduction. So these cards are running more efficient and as well as powerful, but at half the cost they were selling for the initial counterpart. That's the big difference. It's now I think by also Nvidia not releasing anything less than a 1060 with the Pascal architecture, which is the current generation architecture. That's nerd talk for why these cards are so powerful. I think by keeping a standard, by going 1060, 1070, 1080, that definitely allowed the general consumers who are buying these cards to have a better understanding on which card you need to buy in order to have high performance gaming.
We're going to change. We should change the title of this podcast to Javon and Christian Explain Graphics Cards to Mike. That's what this should be. Because so this is my thing. This whole time you guys have been chatting about graphics cards this whole time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, shut up. I don't understand what you guys are so excited about because I have an Alienware Alpha that I can't even change one graphics card out of it. It's soldered in there. But so I guess a lot of what I'm hearing right now is if you have a gaming PC and instead of going for these next gen consoles that are coming out, if you just upgrade your graphics cards with these, I guess, with these prices with the price points that they are at now, you can get a really decent budget graphics card that can give you the graphics of these very expensive game consoles that will be coming out within the next couple of months, like the new PS4 and the Xbox Scorpio, and then whatever PS4 comes out after that.
Yeah, and what's also crazy about it is that, in prior years, when Nvidia has their next kind of iteration of their cards, the lowest end card is still not as good as the last year's highest end card. Like the low end is still very low. It might almost make it to the mid of the last version. Whereas this year, their 1060 low end is almost comparable to the high end of the prior generation. And that's what's so crazy about it. And at this low price. So it's like they jumped a lot, and you're getting a lot more for the money for sure. And so even though I'm buying the low end, I'm not buying like low end. I'm still buying something that's kind of in the mid range still, which is why AMD is kind of struggling, because Nvidia's low end is actually mid at this point. It competed with AMD's high end. So
right.
It's just
okay. All right, so let's get into some suggestions for individuals that are watching and they're looking to buy a graphics card. Can you guys make some suggestions for them on what do you think are the best ones? Let's go with the low end category for someone who just needs to play a game. Let's go for low end first.
Terminology. This is terminology sake. Let's say budget, because I low
no.
end.
So what I mean for the lowest setting, for the lowest possible settings to run on your PC, kind of like what Christian has in his computer now. So let's go for someone that's going to go for, like you said, a budget build.
Right?
Then we're going to go for we're going to go for the mid range. That, hey, I got like the dude just hit the lotto. He's like, man, I got money to spend, so let me just buy a new graphics card. So we're going to go for mid range. Then we're going to go into the high end graphics cards. Right. That these are for people like Bill Gates who just got into PC gaming and is like, yo, I'm in this now. I can buy whatever I want. So let's start off with that. Let's start off with, let's give can we give five graphics cards, 2, 3? What's the?
Yeah. I can give about 3 quality cards at the budget line. 3 quality cards.
Let's go for it.
Now I do want to say, even at the lowest ends, you can still play close to 99% of every game that's out this year and will be out next year. That's
like what I have in my alpha. So this is that type of level.
Right. You're not going to be able to say that I cannot play this game if you get a low-end card. I don't ever go with the actual lowest, because there's no – a lot of times you're losing value and money. Because the price points will be like a matter of $10, $20, At that point, like Chris said earlier about the Comcast deal, you just don't – it doesn't make sense to lose so much for so little. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I say we start off with the RX 470 from AMD. Now that comes in different configurations of 4 gig and an 8 gig. Their 8 gig version is $230. Now this card will play any game currently out at moderately 1080p 60 frames per second. Now for most people who are buying computers, or who have computers right now, this will fit into practically any computer build, and has low power draw, and it definitely helps out a lot if you're playing at 1080p. The next card I think I recommend will be the RX 480 at $239. Now, this also comes in 2 configurations, but like I was saying before, the 4 gig version and the 8 gig version has a difference of $10. Doesn't make sense to go with the lower version for $10 difference. This card will compete with some of the higher-end Nvidia cards of last year. Now, this year, it's not on the same level. They try to compare it to the 1060 and 1070 in the press conference, but in actuality, those cards are so above and beyond right now that this as good as this card is, those cards are just that much better. You know, now because I don't want to knock the performance. This card is a great performer. This will plug into any gaming build right now, and if you don't have anything from this year or the highest end Nvidia or even AMD R9 Nano from last year, if you don't have the highest end from last year, this will be an instant upgrade to anyone's computer rig.
Okay, and third option,
and also this one also comes with Battlefield 1, so someone who's looking to get the newest Battlefield game.
Oh, so we'll put the link in the description below for any of these cards that come with deals.
Yeah, definitely.
So we let you guys in on some of these deals because from what they've showed me, to get a free game with some of these cards, that's a great deal in my book.
Right? Definitely.
So, all right.
Christian has some other cards. That,
So, no. So I'm going to let you do the budget ones. Christian, you mind doing the mid-level?
Yeah, for sure. So, again, like Javon said, at the low end, and again, those are, price for dollar.
Okay.
If you start spending any lower than what Javon said, then it starts to be you're not going to feel good about the money you spent. You're going to feel kind of sad because you're going to want to play something and it's not going to look as good as you want. You can still play it, but it's going to be like I could have spent extra $50 and been playing these with much better resolution. So
would you even call those gaming cards at that point? Like would they just be like just graphics cards for like?
They're like esports cards. Like
yeah.
You can play Overwatch, you can play League of Legends, you can play Hearthstone, you can play these esports games at moderate settings, and get the job done. But it's not
put in Doom or something like that.
Right? Yeah. Doom will work, but you may not want to look at it.
Well, see, that's the thing. I have a lower end graphics card, and I played Doom, and I'm surprised to say that game is a lot more demanding than I would have given it credit for, because the alpha, the frame rates will drop if you keep playing. Like I played. Maybe let's say an hour in, my frame rate start dropping, like really bad. So I'm now looking to get a PC now because I can't play half the games that I really want anymore. But yeah, so that's just my spiel on it. So I wouldn't, for my opinion, I want to go for some of these mid ones that you're going to go into. Let's just say that's in my budget. Right.
So so in the mid range, really, it's kind of a mid and then a high mid. Is kind of where we are
two
now.
For those?
Yeah. So basically, at this point, and again, I would say if you're out to get a new card, I would not personally go and get a prior generation card if I'm buying it now.
Yeah.
Because technology's changed. There's DirectX 12. There's other things that are involved. There's optimizations for VR with all these cards. So even though on paper it may be the same stats as something from last year and cost the same, don't do it. So let's go forward. Let's get something that's gonna be able to maintain the technology going forward. So in the mid range, I will start with the GTX 1060, and I would get the 6 GB version. So that one is at $250. So it's a little bit more than the RX 480, and it's gonna have 2 less gigs of RAM. But performance-wise, you won't be able to tell. And at this point, most games won't use the full, even a full 4 gigs. It's usually for like super high textures.
All right, pause for
that up. Yeah.
Pause for 1 second. Shout out to Andre Franzos. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. He's watching from Brazil. I want to move out to Brazil one day, man. Come on, y'all, stop that crazy crap y'all got going out there. The Olympics screws. Y'all got some crazy crap going out down there. If we come out down there, I'm putting it on you, Andre. Watch our back.
All right, yes.
Go to Rio. Christian.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so at 6 gigs, it's a very good amount that I think will hold you for now and also for the future. Is plenty of RAM for most things you're going to need. Some of the RTSs and those kind of things that have a lot of characters on screen at the same time, they start to use that up. But again, at that price point, it's very good. Now, right now, it also comes with some in-game bonuses for Paragon, which we streamed last night for a little bit. So it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's
for you guys, because you guys play games like that. I don't play games like that.
It's a third-person MOBA, so it was interesting. It was pretty fun. Again, me playing with my GT 730, I was like, I can't wait till I can have this look decently and a little less lag. But it was still fun. So on the low mid-range, get that for $250. The GTX 1060 with the 60 gigabyte is a steal. Again, it'll play pretty much anything you need to play, 1080p, 60 FPS, pretty much.
Kion, I can't shout out all 50 states. All right, I understand you're watching. We appreciate it.
Right.
I can't shout out every state you guys are from. All right, I'm sorry. All right, Kion.
Baltimore, hands up.
But we are glad you're safe, Kion, out there in Charlotte. Be safe.
We're glad.
Yeah, be safe, Charlotte.
There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there, man.
Being black is a crime now. So
yeah, make sure you stay inside.
Yeah,
no
man.
joke. These days, I'm sorry, Chris. I keep interrupting you.
Yeah. So that's the low mid range. But again, this is gonna play anything you need at 1080p. And at this point, 1080p is becoming almost like the standard.
definitely the standard.
Yeah. So a lot of people are already trying to move on to 4K, which is sketchy. But again, so this will run at 1080p. Great. Even at 440. You'll be able to still do medium to high settings on most games and still get a solid frame rate. Pushing up towards the higher end of the mid-range, again, we're sticking with Nvidia because AMD just isn't up here yet. They're 1070. 1070 is really...
I just realized Charlotte isn't a state. Damn it. That's a city.
Yes, it's a city.
Why do you guys let me sound stupid?
I didn't want to say nothing on camera. I was going to talk to you off the camera.
Right. I was
Why do you guys let me look stupid?
I was going to hit you up on the aloe real quick.
Somebody, stop making me say, I'm not stupid. All right. But I am goofy. I apologize for that. Right. Charlotte definitely isn't a state. I feel like an idiot.
He meant it's a state of being when you're in Charlotte or Brazil. Is what he was saying.
Technically, it's a police state now. So
right.
There we go. I got your back, Mike. All right.
That's a technical term.
Oh man. All right. Moving on.
Right. Yeah, so the 1070, I've been looking around at different reviews and things, and it's almost at the point where performance per dollar is going to give you the best deal. Yeah. Now, again, do you need that much performance necessarily? If you're trying to game at 1440 consistently with 60 frames per second, then you're going to need to get up here with that 1070. And again, price. $1 for performance, this is going to be the best deal for you. And again, now this comes with, guess what? Gears of War 4.
Sweet.
Which
comes
also
free copy.
Which is also one of those Microsoft, cross-play things. So
yeah.
Play on Xbox also. There you go.
Awesome.
Now, Christian, the 1070. Now you said $399. Now it's funny because when was it? Oh man, what was it? Just last year the 9 series cards. So the last 70 series, series card started off around $499, man. So that right there shows me how much these companies are really taking it there, because at $400, that's when you say price for performance. I think it's so hard to really translate that. You know what I'm saying? By talking about it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things where that literally is the best card on the market right now if you look at the value of what you're getting. At $400, this was pretty much a lot of entry cards and last year and year before. This is kind of getting into that I want to test out gaming on a PC level. Now this is you're playing 4K games at high quality. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous.
Okay. So So what's going to be our high-end one? Can you guys agree on one, or do you want to battle it out and see who has the better high-end graphics card?
I think we can agree on two.
Yeah, it all comes down to how much of an enthusiast are you?
Right.
Because no one
and a brand loyalist.
You said no one needs them?
At the end of the day,
half the internet would disagree with you, Christian.
At the end of the day,
certain people do need these things.
I mean, if you've invested in a 4K monitor for your computer, then and you expect to play in 4K, then yes, you do need it.
I mean, well, the 1070 can play in 4K.
Yeah.
But if you want to play 4K at 100 frames per second, no. I mean, I think so. I don't want to leave the video out. I'm gonna say
Anthony J. Rosario.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Tell him what's up.
Hey,
that's Delaware. Shout out to Delaware.
Kion also said, "I agree with you. I disagree with you, Christina." I mean, Christian with 2 N's.
He just been trolling all night.
He's gonna troll this whole.
He comes just to troll us. It's great. Thanks, Kion.
Great. Thanks.
So before I hand over to Christian to give you the obvious pick, I want to give the pick that's not even on the list here. That is the AMD R9. I want to say, can't remember the series. A Fury. AMD R9 Fury. That is their highest end graphics card. It comes with its own liquid cooling on board. It's like that. It's very powerful. It's priced around $600 to $700 depending on which OEM you get to make it. This is a very high end card. This is probably the best AMD has to offer right now in the gaming market. I don't think that it's worth the price because that's really expensive now. Last year, this would have been a great pick. Last year, because this is not a new card. This is a last year card. But AMD doesn't have much outside of the 480 from this year that's worth talking about for this year. So last year's Nano is still the highest end flagship card they have, and this was a great option when Nvidia didn't have the 1060, 1070, and above. You know, so if you're an AMD fan. And you want the best AMD has to offer in terms of just raw performance, and you have a space for your liquid cooler in your PC, then that game was free. And plus, it comes with like $100 game rebate towards any game you want. So,
all right,
yeah.
Christian, what's your high end one?
Again, the high end, not the enthusiast end.
Okay,
I'll leave that for Jovan. At the high end is, again, we're sticking with Nvidia as we told you, but they're 1080, and the price isn't even that bad. It's come down right now. The cheapest you can find it for is $640.
The price ain't bad.
Now
the price ain't bad.
Now,
that's what you just said. It's $600. So it's more than a freaking game console, is what you're telling me. And you're saying that ain't bad.
And it'll last you longer also, as we've seen. As they keep refreshing the consoles, but this beats, or at least matches. I think it actually just beat the Titan X from last year.
Yeah.
So
$1,000.
Yeah, which is $1,000. So last year, Nvidia's last year's enthusiast card from Nvidia. You can get that performance this year with the high end card for a little over half the price, which for me is just ridiculous. So, and this is going to give you whatever game you want to play. Pretty much, you can play it how you want to play it, and you'll be good there. And again, it also comes with Gears of War 4. So, deduct $60 off that price. You're looking at like $580 for basically the best video card you can get.
Yeah.
Unless you intend to just have, be on PC Gamer with your enthusiast rig, which is what Javon's going to talk about.
Yeah. So, now, I do want to say, as much as everyone knows I have a problem, I like the best stuff, but the card I'm going to list now, even I'm not.
Bed sheets would dictate. Your bed sheets would dictate different.
Right. So
his bed is made. Leave him alone.
That chair would dictate different.
My chair, yeah, right.
That chair is dangerous.
Insider. All right. So the 1080 is the card that Christian talked about. That's the card that I have. It's the best card I feel like for me because I'm a 4K gamer. Now this next card is the same Nvidia Titan X. Now last year the highest was the Titan Z. That was like their most powerful one, and the Titan Z is still so powerful that it matches up with like the 1070 and stuff. But this new card is almost double of what you're getting with the 1080, which is just ridiculous. You cannot comprehend the power. This card is probably 10 years ahead of its time. Just wow. The Titan. So this card starts off. You can find some deals. When I say deals, I mean like you're like searching the dark interwebs. Okay. You can find it starting around about $899 to $1,000 if you're lucky. Average retail price about $1,100. Now if you have this card, you already have a $3,000, $4,000 PC. So this is obviously not for anyone that would recommend this card. This is not even recommended to fight with consoles. This is like 60 PlayStations and Xboxes put together to fight this card in the name of Allah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh! First of all, flag one for YouTube.
We were flagged a long time ago.
Now,
YouTube Warriors or whatever they're called, right?
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, dude. This game card is like top notch. This is for the people who, when money is not an issue. This is that Bill Gates card we're talking about, all right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Money is not an issue, and you want the absolute best of the best of the best of the best of the best. Then you can go ahead and get the new Titan X, Titan Z, whatever the new one is called. I think it's the X still. But this is that powerful card that if you have this card when 8K gaming becomes a thing, you will still be relevant.
Nice.
Yeah.
And again, what was the price point?
Roughly around $1,000 to $1,100.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's a down payment on a car.
Yeah.
So remember, kids, budget your money. Don't be like Javon. Don't look at things like this. It's not worth it. Or make sure you have your life in order at first before you buy things like this. No, but that was very informational. Wow, that wasn't a word. That was good. That was pretty good because I'm not well versed in graphics cards. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't hold a conversation about graphics cards, but for those of you out there that are watching that were really interested in getting your, where the price points are at, this is pretty good. Appreciate you guys getting us that information.
I would say last piece of advice is before you go pick a card, figure out what your budget is for a graphics card. Okay. And then go out today and get the best cards you can for your budget. Don't sit around trying to wait for prices to come down or wait for the next announcement, because as soon as you do that, they're going to announce something else. That's
like
just
a brand new graphics card. That's the technology world.
Like,
that's
probably next year it's going to have a 1080 Ti, and it's going to be better than 1080, and then you're like, man, why didn't I wait and get... Look, what's your budget, and get the best you can get at that budget. And then, stick with that decision, and then it'll last you 3, 4, or 5 years. And then next time, upgrade again, do the same thing. Maybe then you have a bigger budget, but don't try and chase the next new thing and keep waiting, because you'll always be behind.
That's great advice. Great advice. All right, so this is the last question on this topic that I want to say. What would you guys do? Buy a brand new graphics card, and this is kind of biased because you both are PC gamers, but would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather. Would you rather buy a great new graphics card with one of the deals that you guys just offered us, or would you want to buy one of the new PS4 or the Xbox Scorpio? Which one is more on your buy list? There's that face again. There's that memeable face. John, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah. I don't think the question for me should be whether I get it or not, because I already made my decision. But
what would you suggest then?
Here's what I suggest. Any way you look at it, you have to look at what you already have and say, is this worth it? Now, if you're someone who's already in gaming, who owns an Xbox One or a PlayStation, you have tons of games for that console, right? Mm-hmm. If you have a 4K TV, okay, not a 1080p, not no really, really pretty curved 1080p, not 4K, but kind of 4K, you know what I'm saying? If you have a legitimate, not no QHD. If you have a legitimate 4K TV and you have tons of games, on that console that you're in, that ecosystem, whether it's Xbox or the PlayStation. That's the only reason you buy a PlayStation Pro.
Or the Nintendo NX.
All right, I'm sorry.
Look,
Honestly,
that's gonna be 720p.
Yeah, right. And I don't even think that Nintendo's going to backward support the Wii U games. I'm honest with you. They didn't do it for the
I'm just trying to be unbiased, guys. I'm just trying to be completely unbiased.
They're going back to cartridges anyway, so.
Yeah, right. Listen, your cell phone is more powerful than the NX. Okay, so honestly, the iPhone's 7 actually probably is. So I'm not gonna lie here, it probably actually is better than the NX. Exactly. No, but I will say this though. If that is what you're in, and you're into 4K gaming, you own a 4K TV, because at that point you already spent over $1,000, $2,000 on your Xbox or PlayStation. Buy the new console. At that point, it's a better buy than spending an additional $1,000 plus to build a 4K gaming machine. You see what I'm saying here? Granted pricing, I know PlayStation Pro is what, $399?
Mm-hmm. That's
essentially territory of the 1070. So it's capable of 4K gaming, not native, but it's capable of 4K gaming, and it will do a lot of the HDR stuff. The power you're getting for the console, if you have a 4K TV, there's a lot of benefit towards it. Why? Now if you don't have a 4K TV and you're looking to get into 4K TVs, understand this: a 4K TV is almost double the price of a 4K monitor. Okay. Not just because monitors are small, but because the type of technology they pack in these 4K TVs, a lot of them are smart TVs and all the other junk. Unless you find really good deals from TCL or Vizio or whatever. There's any way you look at it, when it comes to 4K gaming, cause that's really what the point I'm pressing on. I'm not like other people. I don't play 1080p anymore. But if you're looking to play next generation, because next generation to me is 4K. So if you're looking to play next generation, these consoles don't have anything to offer you unless you have a 4K TV. Because even the spec upgrade to play games slightly better than before, you're not going to see a difference. Because unlike PCs, you can't change game fidelity or settings to make your game run higher or lower, to change settings based on the current hardware. So if you want the best gaming experience you can possibly get, make a console, unless you already invested fully into that ecosystem and you own a 4K TV. And that's what I got to say about it.
All right. Christian?
Yeah, I would say I don't think too many people at this point, like if you've been playing video games for a couple years now, you're probably set in whatever ecosystem you plan to be in for the most part. If you're looking to just start, I would say if you have a computer already, like a desktop computer that can be upgraded, and you don't necessarily need to sit on the couch, then I would say get the video card, because most of the games that you want to play are going to also be on PC. Now, if you're used to PC gaming, like for me, I happen to like a lot of strategy games. I happen to like a lot of RTSs. Those aren't on console. So for me, it just makes more sense to stick with the PC. And since I'm going to have a computer anyway to do other things, I just will kind of combine those two purchases into one device. So It's a workstation, and it also plays games. It's not like I'm buying it just to play games, and then other than that, I don't use it. It's a multi-purpose device that also plays games. Kind of like what Microsoft was trying to do with their Xbox One. Like a multi-purpose device in your living room.
Okay. So let's just give Kion's advice here. I don't know why he just didn't join the podcast, but he wants to give it out advice anyway. But no, real talk. Kion, he had a great answer to the question. He said, if you like simplicity and pure gaming, go Sony. If you like a multimedia setup and you have a PC, go Microsoft. If you like to harder games and care a ton about graphics, what I mean, I guess if he wants to play hardcore games and care a ton about graphics for MOBAs and stuff like that, and you like to tinker and upgrade, then of course you would go PC. And I actually really agree with you there, Kion. If you're into the tinkering and you really want, if you're like, Javon is the perfect example of that. When he plays games, he literally wants to play it in the highest quality it can be in. So in his case, PC is the only way to go for him. So I see exactly where you're coming from, Kion. That was a great answer.
I can agree and I can disagree. Here's what I disagree with. Because if pure gaming is the thing we're going to,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking about the next. I'm not talking about PlayStation 4 because it's already settled. PlayStation 4 performs better than Xbox One. Period. Okay, but PlayStation 4 Pro versus Xbox Scorpio, which they already announced the teraflops and all the other gigajots, and you know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff has already been announced. It's obvious the Xbox Scorpio is a more powerful gaming console. Microsoft is back to focusing on games. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another thing. Where, you know, gaming wise, both of them are at the point now where they can play games. But also, remember when exclusives used to be a thing? Also,
Yeah, there's less of them.
There's less of them now. And on top of that, if you let's say you are someone who buys Microsoft, right? Let's say you go that route. Now their games are playing on. You can now buy a Microsoft game and you can play it on your PC.
Mm-hmm. Now, also look at this. As you notice this year, we're not going so long between console generations anymore.
No,
They're starting
no.
almost. It looks like it may almost even be
A 2-year cycle.
2-year cycle, or even a 1-year cycle almost.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like it's almost not. It's almost like it's. I'm starting to think of consoles more like cell phones now.
Exactly.
It's just a new thing.
Exactly.
It's going to come out every year.
2
Every time you
years,
buy it,
and it's $700.
exactly. It's like every time you buy something, it just goes right out the door. It's already obsolete by the time you get in your house.
So why? So here's the question then. If that's the case, and they're obviously trying to keep up with PC. Like, let's not pretend around it. They want to keep up with the PC gaming market to be relevant with the specs. And these developers are building games for hardware that needs to be pushed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you buy into this ecosystem, because let's not. I don't want to give the assumption that if you buy a next generation console, automatically all your games are unplayable. You know what I'm saying? Like Xbox and PlayStation, they're doing a good job at allowing games to be compatible for the next couple of years by being able to just upgrade the internals and allow the game to still be able to play on the same, on the same general platform. That's the same thing as upgrading your PC. You know what I'm saying? You just got to buy the whole thing. That's you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And it only plays games and Netflix.
Only plays games and Netflix. And who doesn't have a Chromecast or Apple TV?
Again, to summarize the whole argument, it's all in what you plan and actually want to do. That's the best way to make your final decision on anything. You got to make sure you're investing in something that you know you're going to use. Don't buy a console if you know there aren't a lot of games on console that you really want to play. The only real suggestion I can make is, like I said, you have to go for what you know and what you want. That's the best way. We can keep giving advice out the wazoo, but we have to be like how Kion said. You got to go for what you want to do. That's just how you got to think of it.
Your comfort level for sure. Like for me, like that's one reason why I'm looking to switch over to Android, is because I can tinker with it, and I'm in a mood to tinker. I'm in that point in life where I want to tinker with stuff, so I'm getting back into PC gaming. I'm getting into that, so I want to tinker with it. Apple iPhone works great. Mm-hmm. I just can't tinker with it, and so I miss the tinkering ability. It's not even about performance for me at this point. It's about, can I tinker with it? Yes or no. And PC, you can tinker. You can get mods. That's the other piece. You can do a lot of stuff on PC if you want to tinker with it. If you are annoyed by tinkering and drivers, and sometimes things don't work exactly right, then you probably don't want to go the PC route. You rather just get an Xbox or a PS4 and just know, I buy this game and I put it in and it works.
Call it a day. All right, so I think we've beaten that horse pretty much dead. Like we said, So like we said, always go for if you already know what you want to do, then that's the route you go. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Only you know what you actually want. So we're going to move on into a little bit of some comic and TV news. We don't have much here today. We tried to make this podcast as short as possible, and it still looks like we might be just under an hour. So let's try to get through this pretty fast. In comic news we have this week, it was announced that, spoiler alert, if you haven't been reading the Civil War II storyline in Marvel, shut off the podcast. But I forgot what issue number it was, but basically the Incredible Hulk is now dead. The Bruce Banner version of the Hulk is dead in the Marvel comic universe. And it seems like it seems like his cousin Jennifer will be taking over in the role of the actual Hulk. She'll no longer be called She-Hulk. She's actually going to be the Hulk. Very progressive step. I'm pretty sure a lot of people hate this because it's another woman standing in a role for a man. Why that matters anymore, I don't understand it. But regardless, I'm interested. Hope it works out. I hope the storyline works out. I'd rather read the story and see if it's a well-told story. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. I've been saying for a while, I think it's time that they kill off some people that let new characters come through. Now, she's not new. Now, she's been here. So I would have rather they'd used Amadeus Cho.
Sorry, Kion. I didn't know. Turn off the podcast. I'm sorry. Dang, I just spoiled the crap out of that. All right, moving on. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah. So I would have rather that they had used Amadeus Cho, who's an actual new character, to kind of take that mantle. But he does have his own series, right? But he's not like the main Hulk. But again, I don't mind them putting her in there, and I like that they didn't just all of a sudden say, "Oh, now Bruce Banner is actually Brucina Banner, and it's actually a woman, and there's a whole new origin story," and try to shoehorn it in. Just phase this one out, bring this one in, and we could keep going forward, and we can have new stories and new things can happen. And if you miss Bruce Banner, you can go read some stories about back when he was alive. Yeah, or they can just go back and do like some history looking back at when he was alive, like Star Wars and Rogue One.
If it was me, I'd be like, you know what? There's all these issues of Hulk that y'all ain't read.
Exactly.
How about you go read one of those before you complain that he's dead,
There's
right?
plenty to read. Exactly. So I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Javon, any thoughts?
No, I think it's good. I think I agree with Christian that they should have let Amadeus Cho kind of take in, and especially after Civil War II, I'm surprised that he's not like just the main Hulk in the Avengers stuff. Like, it's a little off to me. But I mean, I like She-Hulk. She's a pretty cool character. Bringing it back, you know what I'm saying? So that's cool. But Marvel's been doing this though for like the last couple months. With Ironheart, and we have Thor's woman now. So
they've been doing that for the past couple of years.
Well, it's just a year.
I don't want to say that is a bad thing.
It's not. I think it's great. But we all know though in comics though, heroes never die. So,
right.
as my good friend Mercy would say,
you always gotta bring it Overwatch.
Heroes never die.
I'm just saying, man.
It never ends.
Overwatch.
God, Mafia 3, come out already. All right. Next up, so we can end this podcast. The next is the TV/movie news. All I have this week, because I didn't feel like doing much research, guys. Sorry, suck it. Is the Ghost Rider's big reveal in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Christian, Javon, I don't think watched it because who watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I suffered through 4 minutes of video on YouTube because I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either. Not to say it's a bad show. It's not my thing.
I do watch it. I'm just behind. I haven't caught up yet. I haven't watched season 3 yet.
He's only watched season 1 and 5 episodes of it.
Yeah.
But he's going to catch up eventually.
I watched 1 and 2. I'm hardcore. When it gets to Netflix and I have time in my schedule, then I fit it in. Right. I'm still trying to get through Arrow and Flash right now, so it's a lot on my plate.
To quote you, Christian, there's too much TV.
There's too much.
So like I said, I gave it a watch and saw the fight between him and Quake. I found it to be interesting. I don't want to say I hate it, but I didn't like it. I feel like that character is kind of out of place for that show. I would like it better if they just gave him his own Netflix series and he could just go all out and do whatever he wants. Because I particularly like the comic character Robbie Reyes. I think he's a great character, and his story as the new Ghost Rider was pretty good and well told. But I don't want to downplay it because they have a whole season to develop this character. So let's just see what happens. In the words of Greg.
Yep.
Nicolas Cage is the definitive Ghost Rider. Understand me?
Javon, you just lost all credibility right there. You said that.
Lionsgate, please buy back.
and Ben Affleck is the definitive Daredevil also, right?
All right, he is. Definitely.
All right.
He's the true Batman at that point.
Right.
No.
All right, moving on.
No. I got to listen for this because, like you said, it does deserve its own Netflix series. Now, I wasn't a fan of the fight scene. I did watch the fight scene. Choreography-wise, the show doesn't click to me. This is the worst product that Marvel can actually do. I don't know why. They kill it in the movie series. They kill it in Netflix. The shows suck, man. I don't know if it's CBS or or
ABC. Remember, it's on ABC.
ABC. I don't know if ABC
Owned by Disney.
Yeah, it's just they can't do it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. suck. All right, but the actor for Bobby Reyes is really good, and rumors are saying right now that they're actually in the works trying to get him his own Netflix spiel. So maybe he'll join the Defenders. I don't know, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that character is very R-rated. As you can see in that show, he does kill. Spoiler alert. So just like his comics counterpart at the end of his storyline. So, like I said, it's just got to be very interesting to see how they take this story in the future. And if they do grant him his own Netflix series, I'll be tuning in because I can't wait to see what they do. Only thing I ask is if you make his skull a little bit more accurate to how it was in the comics, don't make it a flaming skull, make it like the flaming helmet, because that skull looks bad on ABC, bro. It just looks bad. I think the best looking Ghost Rider was from Ghost Rider 2 Spirit of Vengeance. Not a good movie, but that was the best looking Ghost Rider we'll ever see. You guys can disagree. That's fine.
No,
I mean, I didn't watch it, so.
Yeah. Okay, that's because you're a smart man, Christian. That's right.
I was like,
all right. I guess that's it for this week, guys. Make sure you guys check us out on Twitter. Make sure you guys check us out on Google+, Facebook.
Go ahead, Christian.
Oh, is it?
What'd you say, Christian?
It was cutting out. Are we good?
You good?
Oh yeah, internet.
Yeah. I was gonna say just
Comcast.
The last thing. Speaking of Netflix and Marvel, September 28th, Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Next week. How did I forget about that?
Everybody watch that. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. So next week,
this will change the war on crime, guys. But cops will stop killing us because they'll be afraid even more.
Right? They're like, "Yo, is that Luke Cage?
That Luke Cage?
Right? They're like, there is nothing that'll put the fear of God in cops like a bulletproof black man. I tell you, I'm telling you right there.
He's not dying.
I think what we'll do, because all of us are actually excited about this series, I'm gonna try to correlate it with the guys, but I think we should do an after show.
Yeah.
For after we watch Luke Cage, because this is a particular character that me, Javon, and Christian are actually excited about seeing in live action. We're fans of black superheroes. If you guys are surprised by that, I'm surprised. So we might try to set that up. If we have time, we'll definitely try to do it, because we're definitely interested in seeing how well this show is done. Couple of episodes, press has already been able to see 7 episodes of the season, and they're all giving it a big, big, big thumbs up. So congratulations to Marvel and Netflix on creating another good show, guys. They keep bringing it, and then to make it a character like Luke Cage, and they brought it with that, they can do something with Ghost Rider, I know. So, all right, so that's it tonight. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Google+. If anybody, the 2 people that do follow us on Google, or even use Google+, make sure you follow us on Google+. And don't be afraid to hit us up, email us anytime, chat, leave a comment down below what you guys think about your whole budget, what you guys plan to do about these graphic card versus PC. Make sure you guys let us know on your options. Like I said earlier, Javon, if you don't mind, make sure we put in the description, these graphics cards, their prices, and the deals they come up with the free games. That way we keep our people informed. And I guess that's it. You guys want to say your goodbyes?
That's it for me.
All right.
Y'all in Hearthstone.
No,
and Paragon. What?
And Paragon, right?
And
yes.
Paladins.
No one watches this live.
Paladins.
Check out our Paragon gameplay yesterday, guys. It was a joke, but it was pretty
It really
awesome.
was.
Pretty awesome.
Man.
All right. Javon?
You guys know where to find me, guys. I'm over on it. I'm on Instagram. I'm at Javon49. I'm on Twitter on the Showtech page. You can find the Showtech on Twitter, of course, like Mike said. I'm there. Talk to us on there. Christian's on there. We're all on there. Hit us on Twitter. Hit us an email. If you want to find me on Google+, you know where I really reside at. I'm over at Google+. It's at googleplus.com /users/Joe Bomba Blanc. Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys, I guess, 2 weeks from now.
All right.
Peace out.
I think we're still live. Say something funny. Quickly.
Cut it.
Say something
Cut the
funny.
feed. Cut the feed.
Note 7.